I am getting a vision in my head of a movie set in the 1920s, directed by Woody Allen, starring Colin Firth and Emma Stone. Magic in the Moonlight, directed by Woody Allen, starring Colin Firth as Stanley. He is a magician, and not only is he a master of magic, he also likes to prove that psychics, mediums are frauds. His brother is a fellow magician, and he has met this psychic named Sophie, played by Emma Stone, and he cannot prove that Emma Stone is a fraud, so he introduces Sophie to Stanley and wants Stanley to prove that Sophie is a fraud. So Stanley tries to prove that Sophie is a fraud, and he starts to believe maybe she is psychic because she seems to know his stage name. She knows some of the tricks that he has done, like making an elephant disappear, and when she's trying to contact the dead, she makes this candle float, but there doesn't seem to be any wires holding it up, so he doesn't know how she made the candle float. And since this is a romantic comedy, of course, Stanley begins to fall in love with her. Or is that an illusion? Could that be part of Sophie's charade? I mean, she could be a very good fraud. And when you bring questions into that, this is actually a very good movie. One of the biggest flaws with a movie like this is the fact that Colin Firth is a man in his 50s or 60s, and Emma Stone is in her late 20s, or she's about 30, I don't know. So we got a much older man falling in love with a woman that could be old enough to be his daughter. Well, that's one of the big problems with this movie. I mean, one of the previous films I saw Colin Firth in was The Railway Man, and he had a wife in that movie played by Nicole Kidman. Well, Emma Stone is redheaded in this movie, like she is in a lot of movies she is, even though she's a natural blonde. And with the red hair, she does look a little bit like Nicole Kidman's daughter. So there is that jaunting fact when you're trying to watch this movie. But with a movie like this, I tried to put the age difference out of my head and just see them as a man being attracted to a very beautiful woman, and when you do that, you do see that it's possible they could fall in love with each other. And the movie's very good. I mean, of course it has a lot of cliches, like the cliche secondary love interest, which they both have. Colin Firth's character Stanley has a fiance, which we only see once in the whole movie, so there's not much character development for that. Obviously, because they want to focus on the love he may have for Sophie. And Sophie has a guy swooning all over her and trying to serenade her with a ukulele, and of course this guy is much closer to her age. And you gotta wonder, who does she really love? Does she love the guy with the ukulele, or does she love Stanley, or is it possible that she doesn't love either one of them and that she is fooling both of them? And so there are all these questions, and in order to find out the answers to these questions, you're going to have to see the movie. And Woody Allen's direction was very good in this movie, and I really did like the setting in the 1920s. And I do think, as far as Oscars are concerned, this movie could get an Oscar for costume design. So overall, I'm going to give this movie a B. Definitely check this movie out.